right, it's Senator Cantwell. She really let RFK Jr. have it for his ineptitude.
Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. You are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. As usual, we got some good stuff for you today, folks. We've got some good stuff for you. How is everybody doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. In the house, numero uno today, Patrick Magner comes in. Number one, he says, meow, from Houston, Texas. We also have AVQ, El Senor, Michael Rutnin from Brooklyn, New York. How you doing, Michael? Great to have you here. Our beautiful Yvette Avery Herod from Atlanta, Georgia is in the house. Paul Fleming from Powder Springs, Georgia in the house. Eric Hayes from ¿Dónde está? Kingwood Atascasita. Joe from Los Angeles, California is in the house. We also have para ver. I missed the other stuff. Anyway, also in the chat we have, do you lie? Let's ask. Hey, El Senor, do you lie? Do you lie? I hope not. We also have in the house Suzanne Ryan. All of these are Substack now. Remember, Substack, I lose the first few dozens. Suzanne Ryan is in the house. Adam W. How you doing, Adam? Great to see you here. And Fane Gildy. I hope I said that right. If I said it wrong, please do forgive me. I try my best to articulate names as they should. Anyway, who else we got? Carl Cox from Riverdale's, Georgia, and May Wood from Long Beach, California, in the house. Hey guys, on Substack, why don't you go ahead and go ahead and put, your city and state. Do you lie? Where are you from? Are you in? I think you're in Houston, right? Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. Put your cities and state. Suzanne Ryan, welcome aboard. Adam W says complete disaster. Cannot even get my elderly disabled father a vaccination for COVID or pneumococcal pneumonia in my entire county at any medical facility or pharmacy. It's not good. The HEB here in Kingwood told me last week I could have still gotten the COVID vaccine if I wanted to. The problem is the COVID vaccine that they have out is the last boost. It's not the real thing it's not the new configuration. Do You Lie is from Copperfield. I remember when they built Copperfield, Do You Lie, along 1960. I remember when that was a place to be when they started building that up. It was beautiful, man. When they had all those master plan communities, etc. You live in a nice area, brother. Adam W says this is happening in Pennsylvania too, not just Florida. I hear you. I hear you. PM just joined. Welcome, PM. How you doing? Hey, look. Let me see. Do you lie? I was in New Orleans then. You were, huh? Okay. Prevnar. Sorry to hear all of that, guys. Sorry to hear all of that. E2247 is in the house. He says, while fascism grows as strong as it was under Hitler, offer resistance out of responsibility before history. Persons must eat and buy, but they don't think on it. They just consume. Very true, brother. He says also, I disagree this and that. Resistance is saying, I will put a stop to this and that. Again, that is an important concept. He said, protest is saying, I disagree with this and that. Resistance is saying, I will put a stop to this and that. And what we have is, and by the way, we need them both. I look at protest as defining the problem and resistance as doing something about the problem. You can't have resistance unless you know what the problem is. So both of them are important, my dear brothers and sisters. Do You Lie says the RFK hearing was very depressing. We have such a fool in such a position. I'm going to play some about that after I play. I visited the Kingwood protest that they're having in front of or close to Dan Crenshaw's office. I'm so proud of those, mostly women. I think I saw 3 guys and 8 women, if I recalled correctly. Let me just say this. It's important, right? Like I said, E2247 is correct. Protest tells the problem, but resistance solves the problem by resisting. We need them both. And I've watched these activists in Kingwood, these protesters in Kingwood, educate people, educate a community that was not really educated on the issues. They didn't know that. Many a times they come to cuss us out. And when they are done, they're like, I remember this old guy came and he really complained and he's like, oh no, that's not what I read. That's not what I read. And we calm him down. And we said, I tell you what, do me a favor. I just want you to go ahead and read this. Don't listen to me and don't take my points or anything. Go to the absolute sources. And we gave him stuff. I don't remember who was with me when I spoke to him. And I got a call from the guy. He got turned around immediately. I didn't know that. His comment then was, why do they lie to us? Why is the government doing that? And I mean, that's not the government, that's the media telling you that. Well, it's not Trump's government doing that. You're right about that. But this guy felt on the phone, he felt so dejected. It's like, oh my God, how could I have believed all of that? This was an older guy. And that's what the protest being run by Vicky Feedback and Cindy Stinson out there on Kingwood Drive every week on Thursdays is doing, educating people. What else do I have to quickly read before I go to the first video? I want you guys to keep telling me where you guys are from. Bill Neat, welcome aboard. Vicky, welcome aboard. Adam W, I think I called you out on PM as well. Let's see. Chicago, two women walking. I don't want to hear about these anecdotal. Look, crime is crime, killing is bad. All of that is true. But if you want to find a city that has a lot more killing, you don't want to look at Chicago. There are a lot of higher per capita killings in rural areas and around the country. So please, learn, understand numbers. Please, please, please. Your fanatical, that what you're showing, Eric, is borders on stupidity. That's how they get your mind. But what you are, the way you are, the writings that you have right now, my brother, and I say this with respect, but it's that of an uneducated child, because they just tell you something and you spit it out. And that's what the Powell Manifesto has done. It has made adults uneducated children. Okay? That's what the Powell Memo has done. And if you really want to learn, listen to the folks that you have in this chat that are doing a whole lot of research on their own. It's very, very, very instructive. Anyway, like I said, today I went, I got up here and I'm like, you know what? Dan Crenshaw has been under pressure, not only in his town hall, not only in this workers versus the billionaires protest. So I said, you know what? I covered both his town hall and I covered the different protests by Indivisible, etc. I need to cover what these women have been diligently doing throughout Kingwood. So I went and I did that today, and I want to play you a condensed version of what I did out there. It's about 11 minutes. Check this out. And then we will take it on the other side. This is a well overdue visit. Every week on Thursdays between 10 and 11, I believe, a group of dedicated, indivisible Kingwood members go out and make people aware that are passing on that street all the issues that are covering our country right now, and in front of or close by to Dan Crenshaw's office. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side. This is the weekly protest against Dan Crenshaw. And it's great to see these folks out here. It's wonderful to see these folks out here. And it's during the heat of the morning. And they're out here. Love it. See, they're actually getting some positive affirmations in Kingwood, Texas. That's amazing. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
How are you?
I see y'all holding out the fort, huh?
Yeah.
All right, great. Hey, Vicky. Actually, this is the first time that I'm coming out to your great little thing. How you doing this morning?
I'm pumped.
You're pumped.
I am pumped. We got a great show here. We've got everybody honking at us and saying thank you.
I noticed.
Somebody dropped off some cold soda for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, we're starting to have a good time.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, let me go ahead and take a little bit more.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Thank you guys for being out here. This is what we need. I like that one, right? Did you see your thing?
Yeah.
How you doing, my brother?
Well,
nice. Good. Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Very well. How are you?
Teresa, why are you out here, Teresa?
Well, this man is supposed to be my representative.
Who is?
Dan Crenshaw.
This guy here?
The one in the gerrymander district.
Oh, yeah. And you know it's changing, right? They're changing our district lines.
Yes, and it's going up more into Montgomery County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a shame. How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in years. I mean, we used to fight the good fight together. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Are you still out there doing your thing?
No, I see these ladies out here, and I just had to stop.
Well, you know, these ladies are the ones holding down the fort.
Look around. It's women, man. That's who we have to put our faith in now. Anyway, how you been?
Well, old age is catching up with me.
Well, you still look good. You still look like the Occupy days. You remember those days?
I do.
He hung out with us at Occupy Kingwood. Yeah. Tell me why you out here.
Well, I come a lot to protest a lot of things that Dan Crenshaw is allowing to happen. I think he's kind of missing the fact that Donald Trump is trying to take over the government and do whatever he wants. And I feel like, Dan, don't you see? You're losing your own power. Congress is losing power.
Do you think they really care, or do you think they just want to form a part of this new alignment that they're putting together?
That's a good question. I guess I need to, do a little more research on it.
Yeah,
Specifically, I'm out here today because I went to his town hall.
Yeah.
And he accused anybody who was pushing back of not being his constituent.
We're all his constituents.
I'm like, we are all your constituents, so that's why my sign says that today.
There you go. We want to just say, hey, Dan, we are your constituents. You know what is interesting? First of all, what's your name?
Cindy Stinson.
Now, Cindy, it's interesting because they also said that, hey, you guys are getting a lot of support.
We are.
Now, he also said that you were paid. So could you tell me who is paying you?
No one is paying me. I'm spending my own.
Are you sure?
Time.
You didn't get gas money to come out here? You didn't get money to get that?
Here, putting myself out here for who knows what to happen.
Yeah, well,
we are not paid.
Well, you know what? It's good. This is when you see a consistent action like this, it actually tells you things are gonna happen. So it may take a little time, but you guys are doing a great job. Listen, you're a great person.
The sound of the town hall meeting was really bad, and I know that Crenshaw made some real misstatements, misinformation. And I just wish I had some of the quotes because I know he's just for a whole half hour of the meeting only lasted an hour. He'd only booked the room for 1 hour, and then he used half of it for just kind of blathering on about a congressional update. My question is, there was a person that asked a question, and I heard your analysis, and I think you were absolutely correct. People were very quiet and respectful when that person asked the question.
Right.
And they just, some people may claim that people were mean to Crenshaw, but he didn't stop talking until people started chanting, questions. He was not going to answer any questions.
Teresa, that town hall was a well-behaved town hall.
Yeah.
If your representative doesn't give you the opening to ask questions, then you demand it. And if you want to know how, it's like I said, when that person got up to ask the questions, the room stopped to let the question be heard. So that was excellent.
It was amazing. I could hear him across the room. I was on the complete other side, and I could hear that
Did that man have a mic?
Yes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had a mic, but they purposely put it into a place where you have bad sound quality.
Yeah.
Because they want deniability. So that's why because there are ways that they could have put the speakers out, etc., but they wanted deniability. All of this was planned. At 5 o'clock, they did it at 5 o'clock because they know some people couldn't make it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
it was well orchestrated. And it failed them. It failed them because it made national news how bad it was. Yeah, so
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know it made national news.
Rolling Stones, Jim Acosta, and many others actually carried it. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could just confront him specifically on some of the lies and misinformation that he passed on.
Oh yeah, but that's good. Man, you guys got a crowd to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's great. In the middle of the day. Let me see that sign. I want to see your sign. There you go. How you doing? You ready to talk to me yet? You're still not ready. Okay. But hey guys, look at the sign that she has there, guys. Is that great or what? And you know what? I think she's the biggest generator of hunks right here in Kingwood. Am I right?
Okay.
You try. There you go. There you go. As you can see, folks, this is a weekly thing that these folks do out here with Indivisible every single week on Thursdays at, 10 till 11. Every Thursday. This is great.
like I said, this visit is long overdue. They've been doing this weekly for several months right now. They go there and they protest at Dan's district office, and they make sure that all the people in Kingwood, as they're driving around the main thoroughfare in Kingwood called Kingwood Drive, they make sure that all the people see the signs, and it's going to wake up quite a few. I saw one thumbs down. I heard a whole lot of horns and horns and horns. People brought cold cokes for the people doing the protest. And this is important. Rachel Maddow is one of the few that are carrying almost on a daily basis, every time she does a show, that these protests are going on, not just in Kingwood, but all throughout the country, much more impactful than we had with the Tea Party. Unfortunately, they're not covered by the media. And that's one of the reasons I say long overdue. I should have been out there to put on the record to make sure it's in the address space. This great work these Kingwood residents are doing in the district to make people aware of what's going on. And when people see that, it first seems strange. They first get their thumbs down given the ideology. As people learn more and more, we actually see the change in the way they're actually addressing these folks. At first, it wasn't as many horns. Now you get the horns and horns of approval as people are driving down the streets. Folks, wherever you are in this country, remember your voice matters. And when they start to see you activating the magical number 3.5%, that at that point, when enough of you activate, that is when change occurs, because at that point, the politicians get scared and they have to start listening because they know what's around the corner. So Kingwood, Indivisible Kingwood, great job that you guys are doing. I understand that this one was originally, the very first one that they did was put together by Cindy Stinson, and I think a great lady. And of course, with now a lot of help from Miss Vicky Feedback. I think you guys are doing a great job out there. Keep doing it. America, watch. This little 10, 11 people that come out every single week is what it takes. And Neil Aquino in Houston does the same with Senator Cornyn. And there are many other groups out there that are doing it. Neil Aquino with the Houston Democracy Project is doing this work out in Houston. We have Vicky and Cindy doing it here in King, and both Cindy's doing it here in Kingwood. And we have throughout the country this occurring. Engage. You are making a difference, and you will make a difference. As people feel more comfortable to see others like them engaging, they will also engage. Our area is a conservative area that you can actually start to see the turn from its steadfast, dedicated conservatism to a more open-mindedness. And I think it is a good thing. Keep it up. Good job, Indivisible Kingwood. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful. To put it bluntly, you guys rock. You guys rock. Anyway, Brother Rudnan asked me to play this because, yes, the No Kings March, guess when it starts? It starts in October 18th. Here we go. I think I have it going. Yeah. All right. I guess it has no sound. National Coalition, October 18th, 2025. Oh, it does have sound. Why did I not get it started? Let me start it over, guys. It has sound. I was wondering what about it,
He doesn't.
So a couple of points to make about it. One is this isn't language that's been part of mainstream American politics before. When I was writing that article, I went back and looked at a few other eras in the last century to see if I could find anybody talking about vermin or poisoning the blood or comparing political enemies to insects, and I couldn't find it.
He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
There you go. So thank you for that, Senor Ratnan. Thank you for that. And Yvette, that's what I understand, that these groups are popping up all over, much more much more effective, and not via the media, but via convincing people than during the Tea Party days. But it's funny, if we got the traction the Tea Party got on the mainstream media, this stuff would be over. I find it amusing that it's so sad that the Tea Party isn't getting it. But anyhow, let's see what else we got here. I saw some other. Anthony Lefranco says thanks to everyone that's checking in concerning the protests they are doing. And yeah, that's true, Yvette. If you have videos that we can also broadcast, bring it up. I know as you're going around in the truck, sometimes you see a lot of stuff that's occurring in the different neighborhoods around Atlanta and elsewhere. Uh, 82247 says when 47 paints us the darkest colors, that's better as it shows not only a clear distinction between 47 and us, but it also that we have achieved a great deal in our work. Exactamente. Exactamente. When 47 slanders us, that is good because it proves that there is a clear line between his White House and minions and us. Very much so. Justin, U.S. job openings fall to a 10-month low of 7.18 millions in July, below estimates per Labor Department. I can't believe the Labor Department printed something that is substantially negative. Wow. Maybe that's because the next thing that they print is going to be that much worse. Eric says per capita is another excuse for PDR loving criminals. Now, you know, I want to ask the whole audience. What thinking process goes into somebody who would make a statement like this? PDR loves criminals. I could look at the most lenient person. I could look at the most progressive person. I could look at the most conservative person. The one thing that I wouldn't come out and say is, oh, you love criminals. Because it's an asinine statement. Don't you think so, audience? Who, even if you're an evil person, you can't love criminals. You can't love that person that could harm you. It makes no sense. So, I mean, when I talk about the childish level of discourse that the right foments and the dumbing down that it does to the folks who follow the right, it's just astounding to me. And I hope that sometime those of you who make these silly comments would read it back to yourself and just see how it makes you look. Really, it makes you look pretty small. It makes you look pretty dumb. I mean, and I'm saying that with love, but it does make you seem pretty dumb. Who likes crime? Who likes criminal? You can say that. You could make a statement like PDR doesn't want to fight crime the way the right does, and you could even say that we think the right has a better way of fighting crime than PDR. Of course, crime rate is much lower now under Biden than it was under Trump when he left office, right? But you can make those statements, even if they're factually incorrect, at least they sound sensible. But the things that, I mean, I was listening to some of the senators today in the RFK interview, RFK panel, right? Not the panel, but the inquiry or whatever you want to call it, hearings. And I listened to these Republican senators that I know these guys are intelligent. I know that. But when they talked about Methotrexate and these drugs, and I'm watching an adult senator make a fool of himself in order to appease Donald Trump. And the other thing that I'm noticing again is it is so far, it's the men. It's the men that are so weak, so feeble when it comes to protecting us. And if you want to look at those people that are really fighting the fight these days, it's the women. It's the women out there realizing, oh my God, all this testosterone has done so much wrong to society, so much wrong to the world. All, everybody that I mean, look, men like me, we're standing up, right? But what I'm seeing, I go out there in the field today, 3 men, 8 women. We had the march, the Crenshaw stuff, loaded with women. They work too. You go ahead and we have our protests at No Kings, a ton of women. What's wrong with the men? And again, the fact that Donald Trump is president, I know, look, that these are men, Hegseth and all these guys sounded like little guys. Astounding. Completely astounding. Completely astounding. But you know what? What I can say is thank you, women. Thank you, women. You keep it up, because ultimately we will follow. Ultimately, we will follow. But men have become so weak. Anyhow, I want to show you this clip from the Kennedy hearings, because I think it's informative. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll take it on the other side. Hurrah to Senator Cantwell. She really let RFK Jr. have it for his ineptitude, his conspiracist self. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
I represent one of the most science-based states in the country. That is percentage of scientists per capita. And at your confirmation hearing, we asked about this, whether you would follow science. You've made a statement here today in your testimony that you would follow science, and yet you're not following science, and that's what Senator Cassidy's question was. It's a simple yes or no answer. Do you think the president deserves to get a prize for warp speed in the mRNA technology that saved so many lives? And you won't answer that question.
I answered it.
No, you're saying that there are problems with what was interpreted. You could say yes. Do you say yes?
I said the president also deserves a Nobel Prize, but our mRNA vaccines that we're working on, the ones that we canceled, which are for upper respiratory infections alone,
you canceled $500 million of research because the mRNA technology is about continuing the research to be ready for the next flu, influenza, the next pandemic, and you have to do the research.
I'm happy to have a detailed discussion with you about it. You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me, and sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are. You're the ones who conflate chronic disease with the need for vaccines. The history on vaccines is very clear. This is the 20th century. That's how many people had vaccines and had illnesses. This is the 21st century. This is the decrease, 99% down to 100%. This is what was delivered with vaccines, and you don't want to support that. You don't want to support that evidence. So yes, the governors of the West, Washington, Oregon, and California, will take up the efficacy of science. Yes, the University of Washington will deliver the science that America will depend on, because you don't want to depend on it. And his own Surgeon General of the Trump administration said over 2 million lives were saved because of the mRNA technology, and you don't want to continue that. You don't want to continue that technology. So what country is going to now take up that technology lead? What country is going to do that? Leaving us more vulnerable to some other country, keeping the advantage on having the best technology. So I'm telling you, I represent a state that's about technology. I have 2 other quick questions for you.
These questions or statements? Because I can answer that question if it's actually a question.
Do you believe in having the ACA and the support for the ACA that is about to expire? Do you believe in doing something about that?
In terms of the enhanced premium tax credits?
Yes.
Well, the Democrats had two chances to make them permanent, and they didn't. And they didn't for a reason.
We're the ones who delivered it. So I'm just asking, yes or no, do you want to do something about this? Yes or no?
I want to fix the system, and that's what we're doing, fixing systematically to make premiums lower. That's what President Trump wants.
Do you think what I'm saying is you are perpetrating hoaxes? You, as this Secretary of Health. So you're undermining the whole healthcare delivery system, and you keep trying to point to chronic disease, but you're not putting solutions on the table to cover more Americans, and you're taking away the science and technology that has made us the leader that has saved, according to the first Trump administration Surgeon General, millions of lives, and you don't want to keep that going. So no, I don't support your continued efforts as Secretary, and I definitely think that our colleagues need to rally around science. If you want the Northwest to continue to lead on all innovation and all healthy people, okay, we'll do that. But it's a sad statement for the rest of America and America's leadership on technology.
This is how you handle the likes of RFK. Unfortunately, when you don't have the power to really force the president to make the changes necessary for the country, it's going to be all words for now. But I tell you one thing, folks, when Americans start dying from measles again, when they start dying from polio again, when they start dying from all these diseases that we used to have control over, when the blue states start to enforce having vaccines while the red states play games like Florida, no longer having to have students in schools not having to abide by vaccine laws, we're going to really have a separation in this country based on where you live or how much money you have. If you're in a red state and have money, I guarantee you, those red states children from the rich, they'll have their vaccines. Those red state students that need to get taken care of, they'll be cared for because their parents will be afforded what's necessary to give them vaccine. But as usual, it's the poor, it's the MAGA folks, all of those folks that are believing all the fallacies about vaccines, all the fallacies about economics, all these things that are dumbifying these people. It's going to kill them. It's going to make them sicker. It's going to make them more dependent. Look, red states are the most dependent states there are. They're the poorer states. They're the states that are sicker. They're the states that are less educated. These states are they're the most polluted. These states are in dire straits. And they're fewer along with the people he hires. It's going to do things that are going to affect them even more. Sometimes you wonder, let it happen. Let it happen, right? Many of us in the progressive, not many, some of us in the progressive space have said, you know what? Let Darwin's theory come into effect. Survival of the fittest. Watch them die out faster than the rest of the population. But if you are who we are, progressives that believe in humanity, we can't do that. It may pain us to want to assist. It may pain us to keep trying to bring the horse to the well, to bring the pig to the water, to bring the cows to the drink. We got to do it. We got to do it because we are not them. While they don't mind harming, while they don't mind the having folks die, you know who does? We do. We do. So we keep on fighting and we keep on pressing on.
All of our countries.
We keep on fighting and we keep on pressing on because we care. They don't. We do. You listen to commentary like what you have Eric Hayes have in the chat. And I'm calling out Eric Hayes because he's one of the most prolific commenters of right-wing crazy in the chat. You look at that and you see somebody that you see folks that the system has made them devoid of a heart, devoid of sitting back and saying, how does that harm people? And even as they claim to be Christians, even as they claim to be God-loving and God-fearing, the things that they support are things Jesus would never do. Welcome aboard, John. How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to say we should underscore the fact that probably John Kennedy Jr., if I got his name right, the Secretary of Health, is, going to get his children, his grandchildren, those shots. The same with the Trumps, the same with all of these people. So they're absolutely lying that they, are what they're saying, and they want people to die. It's obvious. And who is going to go down to Florida and expose their children to these diseases, if they can't get the vaccine, in other states? So I applaud California, Oregon, Washington, that they're going to do their own, vaccines. And I hope that Minnesota does the same, and Wisconsin, and all the other blue states, New York, etc. Because why should we suffer as a result of the lies and stupidity of the Secretary of Health? Why should we suffer from, because of his stupidity? It's just
what is
beyond the
interesting,
pale.
John? What is interesting, John, is that is what John, I can't remember the name of the reporter out of Wisconsin, said. We're dividing the country into two areas. The areas that follow the stupidity and going to harm their citizens, and the other areas, the blue areas that pretty much work on science. And what he pointed out is eventually a lot of those blue governors, what they're going to do is they're going to say, if you don't want to take your vaccines and all of that, we are not going to allow you into our state to pollute our state. And just like we stop people from sending certain people from other countries, other states are going to start saying, well, to be in this state, you must have this vaccine. You must have this in order to protect us. And that is what it's going to be all about. Anyway, LVW says we're going to have medical tourism to blue states. I hear you, girl. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, that this state, could turn around and say, I'm sorry, we can't accept you because you're not getting the vaccine, you're from Florida, and we can't risk that. And then all of the tribal lands here in Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, throughout the entire West, and then also whatever, reservations, they should do the same. We are resisting. How you resist. That's how you turn this around. And he needs to go. He's a fool. He's an absolute idiot. Absolutely.
It's not only that he's a fool. For all the people who believe, who are anti-vax, etc., they are fools. And let me explain what I mean by that. And I'm saying fools in the legal. Let me take this call and then patch them together. All right, there we go. Okay, they're patched together now. They're all fools. And let me explain what I mean by this, John. And it's important because and there's a definition for fool. I'm not talking about a pejorative kind of fool. I mean that they're just fools. And here's the reason why. Because what happens is people can say, "Well, I don't want to take the vaccine." Okay, that's fine. If you want that, that's fine. But then we need to also pass policies that prevent the possibility of those people who decide they don't want to be vaccinated to come and infect my kid, infect my mother, my grandmother, my wife with lupus, etc. In other words, you have the right to not put this stuff in your body. And we have the right to stay away from you. We have that right to stay away from you as well. And that is what we have to do. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead. Patrick, come on in.
Yeah, I was just going to dovetail off of John, and there's another aspect to skipping vaccinations. Is there are people out there that would actually like to have vaccinations, but because of the ingredients or something, they can't take them. They're allergic, so they are relying on everybody else around them to take the vaccines so they don't die.
I think it's called community immunity or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, herd immunity.
Herd immunity, that's what it is. Yes.
Well, I mean, there are people that can't take the measles shots. There are people that can't take these vaccines. And then if the population starts moving away from taking these vaccines, the people that would like to avoid getting sick can't. And then another thing I'd like to point out that they're doing here is it's not just vaccinations. They're taking off one of the broadest and most effective types of antidepressants off the market. So not only do they want us to die from disease, but they want people that are struggling with happiness to kill themselves.
Yeah. Right.
I want to play you guys something. I hope all of you can hear it, because I always remembered when Congressman, the Florida Congressman, his name is, it defeats me right now. Anyway, I want to play it for you, because this is what I feel, along with many other feel. Check this out.
If you get sick in America, this is what the Republicans want you to do. If you get sick, America,
I know
the Republican health care plan is this: die quickly. That's right. The Republicans want you to die quickly if you get sick. Now, the Democrats have a different plan. The Democrats say that if you have health insurance, we're going to make it better. If you don't have health insurance, we're going to provide it to you. If you can't afford health insurance, then we'll help you to afford health insurance. So America gets to decide. Do you want the Democratic plan or do you want the Republican plan? Remember, the Republican plan, don't get sick. And if you do get sick, die quickly. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Yep.
That and
Bryson. His name's Bryson.
Bryson. Yeah, there you go. Bryson. Yeah. I mean, Grayson. Actually, it's Grayson. Yeah. I interviewed him a couple of times. Yeah, I interviewed him a couple of times. Now, but again, when he came out with that, it was so apropos. It was so apropos. Anyway, you have anything else to say, John or Patrick?
Well, also the mRNA technology can solve issues like HIV, and then also cancer. And cancer is, because we live in such a dirty environment, and so many have been affected by plastics and all kinds of things. And this is one of the things that Robert Kennedy Jr. is supposedly interested in, but yet he's going to cut off mRNA vaccine technology. He's an idiot. He's an absolute, and he's a danger. He's a danger to this country and to our health and, our life. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Sorry.
It's a shame. Anyway, now what else you got, Patrick, before I hang up?
I was going to say that they're also stripping the protections from the laws that protect us from exposure to those, at the same time that they're taking away the means to treat them. And then I'm also going to say that I'm going to call in early tomorrow, but I need about 5 minutes because I'm going to address Brian's question about anorexia.
Oh, you're talking about in the morning, tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Excellent. Call in early, okay, so that we can actually get you in, and I feel good putting you all in. So we'll talk tomorrow morning folks. Check out the show. We're gonna star Patrick Magner, who will be on sometime at 6:00 tomorrow morning. All right, Pat. Thank you, my brother. Y'all have a good one, okay?
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Anyway, folks, so don't forget, it's going to be the Patrick Magner Show, mañana a las 6. Well, I'll get him on a little bit after 6, after I do my monologue and all that good stuff. But Patrick will have the floor. So, Patrick, be ready. Anyway, folks, I got to get out of here. Beforehand, though, we got to talk about something else. And I want all of us to give kudos to our sister, AOC. She called out Schumer and she called out Jeffries. Progressive Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez suggested Thursday that the top congressional Democrats and anyone else in the party refusing to support New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani are setting a troubling precedent. Like Ocasio-Cortez, both U.S. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries are New York Democrats. Unlike the squad member who endorsed Mamdani, a Democratic Socialist currently serving in the state assembly before the VEET, former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the party's June primary, Schumer and Jeffries have continued to withhold support from their own party's nominee. At least a previous mayor before Adams endorsed him. We have a Democratic nominee, Ocasio-Cortez told reporters Thursday. Are we a party that rallies behind our nominees or not? The Congresswoman pointed to 2020 when she supported former President Joe Biden once he was the nominee, even though he was not my preferred candidate in the primary, and last year when she supported Vice President Kamala Harris after Biden dropped out of the race against President Donald Trump. She explained that she did so because I am a Democrat. And what we do is that we use our primaries to settle our differences. And once we have a nominee, we rally behind that nominee. You know, I remember during the Hillary Clinton times how everybody was saying, vote blue no matter who. Vote blue no matter who after the race. And we did it. Progressives did it. At that point, I was one of the most prolific writers at Daily Kos on their front page as a contributing editor. And my articles, which were at first all Bernie, when Bernie was no longer the nominee and the party, through whatever means, which weren't the best means, but when it turned out that Hillary became the nominee of the party, the articles that I wrote were truthful. I pointed out why Berniacs should be voting for Hillary, why not only should they be voting for Hillary, but why they must participate in the elections. I wrote all of this stuff. Not, again, staying with my values, but writing all over Daily Kos, all over Op-Ed News, all over a couple of other rags, some of them that I know many of you read as well. But now, because we have neoliberals as establishment candidates, that they won't support Mamdani tells me exactly who they are. They're no more than moderate Republicans. So Hakeem Jeffries, he's not a MAGA Republican. No, he's not. But I'm going to call if Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer do not endorse Mamdani, it is equivalent to them being moderate Republicans. And all that comes with that title because they are doing the work of Donald Trump. So let's be clear here. The Congresswoman pointed to 2020 when she supported I read that one already. I am very concerned about the example that is being set by anybody in our party who isn't now supporting Mamdani, Ocasio-Cortez said. I believe that we must set the example of supporting the party's nominee. If an individual doesn't want to support the party's nominee now, it complicates their ability to ask voters to support any nominee later, whether that is a mayoral, presidential, what have you, she said. And so I think for the good of the party, we must put our differences aside and support our party's nominee. Asked if she's specifically frustrated with Schumer and Jeffries, she responded, "This isn't about personalities. I think that we are in a moment of Trump administration. The stakes are high, and I want, of course, to see our party come together and stick together despite our differences." She is absolutely correct, as LBW says. Thank you, John A. Davis. You warm my heart. John says he loves our show. Look, if you guys love the show, give me some hearts, man. Give me some hearts on Substack. Give me some likes on all the other platforms. Look, give me those hearts, guys. Give me those hearts. I need the love. I want the love. All right. So nothing but, I'm getting my hearts. Love you guys. Thank you. Look at me begging for hearts, right? I know you guys love me as much as I love you all of you, including my MAGA folks. I love you too. You know, Eric, I love you. CSEC, I love you as well, even though you guys are on the other side of the aisle, but I know I'm going to bring you in at some time. All right, folks, look, it's getting close to the time and I'm done with material. So anybody wants to call in right now, let me see if there's anything that I can read. I didn't go through the scroll as good as I should. Just in, a federal appeals court has blocked judges'
order requiring the dismantling of the immigration detention facility known as Alligator Alcatraz. So he gets to keep Alligator Alcatraz open until it gets to the Supreme Court. Wow. All right, breaking news. The Pentagon approved the use of a Navy base on the outskirts of Chicago as a staging ground so that Trump administration can launch operation against undocumented immigrants. You know, as more immigrants get thrown out, watch what happens to your food prices. Watch what happened to your loans, and watch what happens to your economy. Let me tell you something that they don't tell you. You know, let's say you own a 7-Eleven. Bruce Pollard says, how does the support your party play in with ranked choice? Ranked choice is great. It's the best form of elections because your vote is never lost, and the real person who has the most support actually wins. So if we did ranked choice voting, that would be the most perfect form of elections because you rank how you want people elected, and based on their total aggregated weight, the person who has the most support wins. I did several shows on that, Bruce. Several shows on that. All right. So yeah, we need to start supporting the words that we have always said. Let's see. John A. Davis says yes, and watch Chicagoans get pissed off. Look, this is what an autocratic government looks like. And like I said, we still have time to reverse it. We also have time to convince the people who would be in these military, the militaries that are going to come in. We have time to actually make them do the right thing. In other words, make sure that they don't shoot up their mother, their brother, their sister, their friends, their neighbors. That's what we got to do, right? Make sure that they don't shoot them up. So anyhow, anybody else wants to call in before we close this baby down? Eric says rank smells with opportunity to cheat. How is that again? All the numbers are there for all to see. You rank your choices and you also have a paper trail. How is that cheating? What Trump wants to do is what we'll call cheat. Walk the walk. You're right. We need to walk the walk. Let's see what else we have before I shut this baby down. Paul Fleming of Houston had low crime numbers. No, that's wrong. Let's see. I'm scrolling up to see what I missed. Let's see. I received notice that my mortgage will increase by $700. Now I have a fixed mortgage. I'm sorry, it's the insurance companies that insures my home that is increased by mortgage by $700. Has anyone else? No, but I think what you're saying is you have a fixed mortgage, which means your mortgage rate cannot, your mortgage payment, your principal, not principal, but your mortgage payments cannot increase. But the insurance is variable. And if your insurance rose by $700 and you are I think you're in Georgia, right, Fleming? I didn't know Georgia would see that kind of rate increase. You got to blame the commission in your state who approved that. But an increase of $700, what percentage increase in your insurance that is? Because I don't think you mean monthly, right? My mortgage will increase by $700. Now I don't think you mean 700 per month. I think you mean the mortgage probably increased by $700, right? Escrows are going up because of home insurance premiums. Yeah, and by the way, there are two kinds of home insurance premiums, right? There is the insurance for the home, catastrophe, etc. And there's another kind of insurance that you buy to cover in case, what is it called? AMT? Not AMT. There's a particular insurance that the mortgage insurance that the mortgage folks force people to take out until they have, I think, a certain percentage ownership, or rather a certain percentage capital in their homes. So those are other things to watch out. Anyway, I am close to the end of the program. I want to ask all of you that are watching to consider becoming paid subscribers. We cannot do this without you. Paid subscribers is what allows me to go ahead and keep doing this, go out in the field,
do the videos, pay for the internet, pay for all this stuff that we do here, the equipment, the fees for the video editing, the fees for the whole works. So I want to ask you as kindly as I can, please consider become paying subscribers today if you're not. I guarantee you that it's worth it. And how to do that, go to politicsdoneright.com/newsletter, which I just added to the chat. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Anyway, gotta go. Thank you, John Davis. John Davis says, I am a paid subscriber and love your show. Thank you so kindly, my brother. I appreciate that. Others, please consider becoming paid subscribers today. We cannot do this without you. Let's see. Paul Fleming says, headed to the gym. I've lost 13 pounds so far this year. Very good, my brother. Very good. Congratulations on losing that weight. All right. I need to lose about 15 pounds right now. I've been doing my weights. Later on tonight, I'll do my weights as well. All right, folks. Love you all. Please become paid subscribers today if you have the wherewithal to do so. You'll help us continue to print the progressive message all over the internet. Love you all. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what again? I am out.
Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.